Hello and welcome back to the same clothes I was wearing in my last video, but to be fair, it was the same day, so I don't think that's unreasonable. This is, of course, the first round of the 2019 FIA season, well, the official Nations Cup season, that is. The manufacturers is still another exhibition season, I believe, but this is the Nations Cup race at Catalunya in the GR2s. I've done a little bit of practice. I'm probably not as excited as I was. I was out there doing laps. I didn't do a huge amount of practice, which I actually now do regret not doing enough. I should have been into it earlier on in the week, but I jumped in today for the first time, did some practice laps, and as I say, I'm probably not 100% happy with where I'm at in terms of pace, but I felt good out there doing it. I did a 136.6, which at the time felt blisteringly fast, and then I got out and had a look at everybody's lap times, and it really wasn't actually that competitive. Certainly the leaderboard guys are in the 34s and 35s, and even my friend board, a lot of them were in the 35s, so I'm probably about a second slower than I would like to be, but I've run out of time. It's time to jump into the race. Qualifying will be up in 1 minute time. So I am joined by a couple of, how many people do I know in this lobby? So Speedy Tyres is there, so there is at least one that I immediately recognise. Few Kiwis there, good. We'll have to see how I go, but I'm not that confident about it, to be perfectly honest. I doubt this is the top split, so I shouldn't be up against any of the really super fast guys, which, to be fair, most of the top of my leaderboard that are in the 135s are all, you know, a couple of the times I think we're in the leaderboard, the top 10 leaderboard anyway for the region. So yeah, I'm not 100% confident. I don't think I've got the pace here. I didn't do any practice in terms of tyre wear, setting up a lobby to deal with tyre wear or anything like that. So we will see how we go in 12 seconds. Okay, looks like it is time to hop into qualifying. The question is, I'm just going to wait and see how many people jump out of the pits first, because I don't want to get caught up in the pack. You don't want to get caught behind, of course, but I also don't like to be caught up in that big pack, because he's just more likely you're going to run into someone or get in someone's time. Quite often I end up with a better qualifying time if I'm up the back by myself, even if I end up missing out on, say, one lap or something like that. But I've got no other traffic around me, so it's usually pretty good. There's still one person you can see on my radar down the bottom right-hand corner there that is with me, but everyone else is sort of well down the straight. There he goes. So I'll give him a bit of time. I'm sitting in the pits for the longest. It's nearly 40 seconds now. I'm sure I'm going to go now. I'm sure and confident that there is a heap of people currently screaming at me to get out of the pits. You're wasting all that time. It's fine. It's calculated time. And confidence is low going into this race. I've no idea how I'm going to do. That is 1 minute now done. But what I'm also going to be introducing you to, because of course if you're new around here, this is only the second video I've done with a webcam, so it's not something I have been doing, and I've kind of become, ever since I sort of considered getting a webcam, I've become a little bit more conscious about the stupid faces I pull, and actually I really should be looking after my tyres better. I'm just slinging it around the track. I'll go a little bit slower there. Make sure we're not getting too much slippage on the tyres, but yeah, I am quite new to webcams, and it did get me thinking that I do pull some funny faces and do some weird things when I'm sim racing. That's something I've got to be a little bit more conscious of. Oh, there's a big train here. There's a huge hold up. I'll just get off the throttle and roll on by. So after all that, waiting in the pits for so long, and everyone else jumping out immediately, half of them have waited behind anyway. Good thing there's no tyre temperature in Gran Turismo, otherwise there'd be a lot of people now swerving pretty violently. It's being held up by one bloke. Like, I don't know if he's the fastest guy in the world, but if you look at your top right there, on the track map, you can see one guy has given half a track of space. And I'm not quite sure what the thinking is behind that. But it's a very interesting decision of his to really hold us up that much. Shouldn't really matter, ideally. But unfortunately, I am now 3 minutes gone. Nonetheless, welcome to my concentration phase as I do focus a little bit harder to get this qualifying lap right. I'm going to have at least 2 good laps. I don't know if I'll have enough time to smash in the pits. Hopefully I will. Let's just have a crack and see how we go. Not a great start. Not a great start at all. I've just forgotten everything I've practiced over the last 20-30 minutes. But we'll just have to see. Of course, I do need to remember to get at least one banker in. Cut too much on the inside of the corner there. Of course, I do use second around the hairpin. It sounds very low, but it does mean I can just mash the throttle pedal. Should have been in third there. Shouldn't have changed up to fourth. And should have gone back to second, so I've made a bit of a dog's dinner of all of this. Let's hope the tyres have got enough life for one more decent lap, because that's a 138.4, which is not amazing. It's got me fourth now, but I don't trust it. Let's hope I can put together a much better lap here. It's always hard to know exactly when to get on the power for that corner. Plenty of people dived into the pits. This is where they'll come out and do their low fuel run, which I'm not going to have time to do. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm making a meal of it at the moment. Be nice if I could just get close enough to sneak a little bit of slipstream off old Ollie me blood. So it's 138.2, but I don't have time to pit and get out and do one more lap, I don't think. Minute 30 to get in the pits. Minute 30 out lap. Yeah, I'm going to have to actually just forget about fuel, exit out and do it this way. It's not the way I want to do it. I would like to drive in so I could take advantage of the fuel, but I'm not going to have time, so I'm going to have to go out and do my out lap now. Speedy tyres sitting on pole currently, but I'm pretty disappointed with my time. 38.2 is at least a second off where I should be. Don't want to take too much life out of these tyres. Old mate's clearly on a fly there. I'll stick to the inside line and roll off out of it. Yeah, still sitting fifth. He's got a penalty to serve, so he's not had a great outlap. I'm going to have enough time to cross the line. It's a shame I couldn't have burned up a bit more fuel. We'll use a bit of rev limiter there to try and burn up a bit of fuel if I can. I've been demoted back to 6th position, not where I want to be starting, and just so far off the pace I know I'm capable of. I think I'm going to have to go completely silent, disengage commentary for a lap, and really try and focus here. I think I've got enough space. I do have time for one more lap. Here we go. Way too wide there. Just got the whole section wrong. And I'm already 2.5 tenths down on my own personal best, so I'm having an absolute shocker of a qualifying session. Oh no. It might be faster, but it's still not a good time. What did I do? 38.3. It's slower. It's a 10th down. Really disappointed with my qualifying session there. That is not good. I'm so far off the pace. I mean, I was just pumping out 136s in practice. I know there's no tyre wear on in practice, but definitely disappointing result. Okay, so as we count down to race time, we have just under, well, about 23 seconds to go now. I am led to believe that you can no-stop this on hard compound tyres. I am actually just going to go with medium compound tyres, which means I will pit once somewhere in the middle of the race. I don't know how the tactic's going to work out for me. I don't know yet if I should have gone hard or mediums, but I was quite a bit slow when I did a couple of practice laps on hards. I didn't revisit later in the piece. If I had more time, I probably would have gone back at the very end when I kind of got my maximum pace and when I was comfortable on the medium compound tyres. That's when I should have gone back to hards. Just done a few laps and seen how far off the pace I was. But early estimates had it at quite, a big enough gap to me that I thought I'm going to miss out by the time I do the entire race. And you're going to end up with tyre wear as well. So if on good hard compound tyres, you're already 1.5 seconds or more down per lap. Then you got to think at the end of the race when you're on worn hard compound tyres, you are going to be on, you're going to be struggling to find any pace whatsoever. As I talk my way through the most epic song to any grand final. It's just not the same without Thunderpants having a sing, but nonetheless. All right, here we go. It is race time. I can't wait to see where I start. I feel sorry for some of the people behind me who are almost certainly going to be starting in the middle of that chicane. I'm going to be starting at the top of first, which is not great. I just hope I'm mostly around this corner before the race goes. I am going to be 3, 2, 1. And there we go. I was actually in a perfectly straight line to get this race underway as the jets fly over. That is a very impressive sight here at Catalunya. You've got to love it. Everybody fighting pretty hard. I got about half a second was the gap Gran Turismo gifted me to start this. Oh, that's not gone well. Bit of an SR down arrow. Will I get a penalty for it? I brain farted and didn't factor in that people will be braking a lot earlier for the start of the race. I'm glad I didn't ruin his race then. Or mine. It looks like I have escaped without a penalty. A bit of contact from the car behind actually got me the SR down now, I presume. So I got away with that one in turn 1, which is pretty lucky because I just didn't factor in they would all be going so much slower. And of course we don't know what tactic they're on, we don't know what tyres they're on. As we lose our first person to a rearward brake bias, I'd suggest, as he tipped in there, probably under brakes, the back end comes around. But yeah, so we don't know what compound tyres these guys are on, so for all I know the people in front of me could be on hard compound tyres. Try not to make the same mistake again. Side by side, I think I might actually sneak through here, but again, I need to, because I'm on the mediums, and I'd suggest old mate that I just overtook is probably on the hard compound tyres, so I need to make hay while the sun shines. And make the most of these medium compound tyres. Because I suspect it's the work I do now, whilst there's the biggest difference in tyres, this will help me at the end of the race to get some spots back. Oh, that's okay, I've just cut that, don't worry about that. Yeah, and there's a 2-second penalty. So things are not going well for me at the moment, and that really is going to hurt my chances now. I just, I braked earlier than I normally would, but my brain still tipped in where it would normally do that, so. Probably not off to the start I was looking for. Quali may have been an indication of that. But that's okay, we will fight on. I'm actually 2.6 seconds in front of old mate, but you lose a lot more than the penalty. I've got a 2.1 second penalty, but what I'm going to lose is all momentum. Go back to second. I'm going to have to give him that position up the inside. It's a different guy anyway, actually, Bjorn Borgs. So it's a stupid mistake, and I've absolutely lost touch with the front three now, so any chance I wanted to have of going with them, we'll just have to see how the race plays out. But for now I need to try and get back past Bjorn Borgs undies. Try not to oversteer through that one this time. If I can get a little bit of a suck job here, I might be able to go up the inside of this one. It's not going to happen. I'll grab the next gear so I can try and flatten that throttle a bit earlier and not do too much oversteer. Didn't work. But yeah, I fear that these people who out-qualified me are not holding the pace I am, so. Oh, that's out wide. I reckon he's going to get a penalty for that, you know. He didn't. Jeez, he's lucky to get away with that there. Give me some space, give me some space. There we go. So I've got that one back. Tyre wear is not great at the moment, having completed 3 laps and starting my 4th. Much better lap time. Not that bloody far from a qualifying time, which is frustrating. But as I say, I fear a lot of people are going to be no-stopping on hards, which is why there's such a differential of pace at the moment. Whereas my tactic for this one is just 100% throw everything at it and hope that it comes good for me. front left, or the left-hand side actually, is the side that's copying the most punishment at the moment. May as well lean on the right a little bit more while we can. So we've got a 5-second gap to the car in front. Fat Max Mole. Certainly a name I've raced with before. I've pulled out 2.5 seconds already. Born Burgundies has actually lost that spot. I haven't really concerned myself with fuel much at all. Because I am stopping, I may as well take a splash and dash. I know it does add time. But that's my tactic for today. Bounce over that one. Gobble up that one. Yeah, I've actually lost time to Fat Max Mile, so pace is consistent with two 139 flats, but it's not good pace, and that's my problem today. I kind of feel like this first round of the FIA was the hardest because people have sort of been really excited for it, really pumped, and I get the impression a lot of people have done a lot more practice for this particular race in the lead up to it than they perhaps would for other FIA races. And I say that because, like I said, I did a 136.6, which felt like a pretty decent lap, but I wasn't just miles off the top 10 leaderboard, not that I am accustomed to placing on that, but it's not just that I'm miles off that. It's that it only put me to 9th on my friendship leaderboard. I thought, I'm off the pace. So here's the problem, I'm halfway through the race. A bit over halfway through the race. Oh no, about halfway through the race. I've burnt up just over half a tank of fuel, so I will have to take a splash. And my tyres are about knackered. So I'd like to be stronger at the end. I'm going to do another lap. Pit at the end of lap 6, I think. I'd rather do the shortest stint at the end with less fuel, so I can just try and make some time up. I've only got a 2.1 second gap to Munized, whatever the hell that name is. Definitely starting to feel that front left wear now, so I'm already thinking that my tactic is not the best one. I'm thinking you are much better off doing it on hards and no stopping it. Be interested to see how many other people dive in the pits with me. I mean, I think they will be slow towards the end. I think the hard compound tyres will be rubbish in the last 2 laps, but you know, I'm about to give up 25-26 seconds. Oh yeah, there's a lot of understeer through there now. Man, I've made some impressions on the two in front of me, but good news is the right rear to punch out of the hairpin still feels right. Oh, that's a lot of understeer there. I hope there's no penalty forthcoming for that. That's it, it's time to pit. Oh, and I did get a penalty for that little run wide as well. That is disappointing. So I'm actually going to have to take on quite a bit of fuel, according to that diamond. Oh no, it looks like quite a few people have ducked in the pits. Got a penalty to serve, so tough days for me. As the old pit crew slaps on a fresh set of boots. I'm going to be right on the diamond here. Let's see where I am. Almost certainly dropped some positions here, and I'm going to have to do some overtaking for those who did choose the 1 The one stopper. Yeah, look at that. So down to 9th now. But I should be much faster than the people in front of me for the remainder of the race. Made sure I showed him the nose before I actually let off the brake. Unfortunately, I'm about to give all these back as soon as I hit the penalty zone, but nonetheless, I've just got to push on every moment I can. Every moment I sort of give up and wait for the guy in front of me is more time lost. Here we go. Okay, Dennis could have stayed in 3rd. It was a short penalty, but he does race back on past. Give him the crisscross and use the grip of my fresh tyres to punch back past him, so I've got away with it. A couple of penalties is disappointing. Will almost certainly hurt my DR. Oh, mate's dropped it. I hope he doesn't come back on track. And that's something else. If a lot of people haven't done that practice of hard compound tyres when they're 8, 9, 10 laps old, I really do think they're going to be slow and hard to drive on. So we might find a few people, I'm hoping a few people in front of me do struggle with that. Dropped a little bit on the curb, but for now, I charge on and keep going as quick as I can. I am driving like rubbish though. And I'm a long way behind the next racer. 7.5 seconds behind Fisherman. So, we'll see how this goes. 7 may well be the number of the day for me. Stay in 3rd. Tittering, go back to 2nd about halfway around, which can sometimes just kick the arse of the car around a bit. You can munch that 2nd curb, although I'm a bit late on the throttle. So at least one person has gone into the pits. So I'll pick up 6th. I'm back where I qualified. 38.5, so that was, geez, that's close to my quality time. That's how bad my qualifying time was. Right, only a couple of laps to go. And yes, I am absolutely aware that I lean. But I think it's in part because I run my force feedback on the steering wheel quite high. And this big, wide office chair was made for fat-ass businessmen. I have no idea why I stayed in 3rd for that one, but anyway. It's done now. I just gave up 2 seconds, but I was laughing too hard at my own joke, I reckon. A little bit of inroads. That Fishman is moving. I don't know if he was one of the front guys, but he's certainly got some good pace. The race actually feels really short. Still very much a very short sprint race, isn't it? Try and get the power down. Almost 4 seconds. And I reckon I'm moving quite a bit faster. 38.1, there you go. So I've just beaten my qualifying time in race on tyres that are 4 laps old. Anyway, I need to stop going on about qualifying, don't I? But yeah, I think it's a lack of support from this chair. But rest assured, I have purchased a play seat, but it had to go on order, so I don't know how long it's going to take. I've really got no feedback from the retailer at all on that. I could be waiting bloody months, but it's purchased and paid for, and that might stop me from leaning a little bit, and also from getting so stuck to this chair. I mean, I am coming into winter though, so the heat probably I can worry about slightly less. 2.2 seconds to iron mask. Definitely braking a bit late then. See if I can get that top 5 I was looking for. .3 laps of fuel to go with a lap left. That'll do me just beautifully. Back to 1:39 flat and a 1.3 second gap. Can I do this? I believe if I drive cleanly, given how much time I've taken off him, that I can get iron mask. Down to half a second. Oh, a lot of oversteer there for iron mask. I can smell 5th. I'll just go all the way around the outside of him there. He is all kinds of out of grip there. Just tried to put the foot down to accelerate out and had absolutely nothing, so I will scoop him up. And if I can get through the next couple of corners without incident. Actually, it looked, just from what I saw in the distance there, it looked like the top 3 actually stuck together, so it might have been a cracking race. I'm not too far off the rest of them, but a lot of mistakes. A bad qualifying and a lot of mistakes. That's how I'm going to start off my FIA season, but top 5, I suppose. You'll take what you can get. And I will get. We'll see how many points I get. I'm not thinking a lot. This would not be a top split race, unfortunately. I don't know how they determined that. My SR's at 99, and my DR was at about 39,000 or so after this morning's race. So I'm tipping this is about second split. Where'd Speedy Tyres end up? Back in 11th. Obviously, he had a rough run himself because he was looking quick. He was looking real quick. Predictably, the guy that we thought was going to win did win. But anyway, let's wait and see what points I got. Yeah, so it wasn't too far off the money in the end. It's probably not a bad strategy, and it's difficult to know. I might save the replay and just have a look and see who else did it, but by all means, please let me know in the comments. I'm most likely for FIA races going forward. I got 987 points for 5th. It's not too bad. Like, it's not great, but it's not too bad. Nearly 1,000 points for 5th. But yeah, let me know what you did in the comments. Did you end up running the same tactic as mine? Did you run no stopper on hard compound tyres? How did it turn out for you? Let me know. I'm interested to know. So what I'll be doing from this point on, Wednesday FIA races I'll most likely stream. I'm usually pretty available on a Wednesday for a longer 2.5, 3 hour stream. The Saturday night races, I'm not always going to be able to make them. It's a tough night for me. I have tonight, which is great, but I'll most likely do a video, much like I have today. So on that note, hopefully you have enjoyed the video and my rambling. If you have, remember to leave a like. It helps me. It helps the channel out quite a lot. And of course, if you're new around here, welcome. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell icon as well, so YouTube tells you when I actually put content up. Otherwise, there's not a lot of point these days, is there? Hopefully I'll see you in the future, videos, whatever. Leave the comments. Thanks very much for watching, guys. But for now, too many finger guns. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.